welcome to Let's Play Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit, episode 24, and for what I have officially decided will be the finale of NFS 3. And so, following the success of winning the expert knockout, I did of course show off Hot Pursuit and also most of the cheat codes, and now I'm going to show off a couple of bonus tracks, or in other words, secret courses. But again, I'm basically just going to call this segment bonus car and bonus tracks. So, first one I need to type in is for Autocross, and the code I need to type in is XCN. And there we go, we've unlocked our first bonus track, which is Autocross. And well, I'm just going to do this in, let's do this in practice mode and see how we do. And I'll probably also need the tutor on, just so I can understand how to drive the circuit. And we don't get any information on this circuit because it's one of the bonus tracks. And as for the car I'm going to use, well, I want to use the Nino. So let's do that, and yes, I'm going for it. I'm driving this thing in gold. Just because I want to see what this thing looks like. And Jesus Christ, that is very much a futuristic look. And I probably can see why exactly Rhino claimed this car to look kind of like a Bugatti Veyron. Except not really. But again, I'm not really racing anything, I'm basically just doing a lap around each of these circuits just to see what happens. And we also don't get any track records either, and holy shit. Although then again, I'm not really interested in putting up any actual lap times. And wow. Okay. At the moment, I'm doing terribly on this course. Okay. Well, it just depends on knowing if I can get a replay shot of this thing. And just because I'm doing some practice runs, that's exactly what I'm pretty much doing. Because I'm trying to get in a lap around this circuit just to see how long it is. Because this is a pretty long track, judging by what I can see here. Still, it does suck on how we don't get any track info or records about this place. But again, I've decided I'll basically show off about as much of the relevant things as I can, but it just depends on knowing if the driver himself is ultimately able to show each of these off with enough, prestige. And I would say, if there's really any word I can give for Autocross, it would have to be that this circuit itself... Anyways. That is a lap of Autocross, and now let's move on to our next track, which I believe is called Caverns. But again, I will have to set a complete run around one of these circuits eventually. So ultimately, that is more or less what I need to do. So, just head over to username, and okay, first ones are fine, and okay, XCAV. I just need to remove this. And we now unlock caverns. Dependent on where... Oh, there it is. There is caverns. And sticking, of course, with the El Nino. And let's try and see how good this will be. Hopefully I will not be too terrible at this. So this is our second bonus track. It is called Caverns. And as you can probably see, this of course is in a cave.
2, 1, go!
And you can probably see why exactly they call this caverns, because, well, this is basically in a cave. And well, I have a feeling to get a hot lap in on this circuit without crashing. Judging by what I can see here, it's almost impossible to predict which way exactly the track is going to go. But I'm hopeful in saying this isn't going to be too much of an ordeal to make my way around. I mean, it is pretty clear to see why exactly the El Nino is quite clearly the fastest car in the game, considering it basically has a top speed of under 230 miles an hour. So this car is basically the quickest in the game, and I'm having a dreadful time trying to get a lap in around here. Because, my god, these caves. They have really got me caved in tight spaces. Judging by how difficult it looks to get around this track, this is something I cannot ignore. Anyways, that's one lap of caverns, and now it's time for us to move onwards to track number 3, which is called Scorpio 7. And yes, BTW, I am using the NFS fandom page to retrieve this information. Just so I can add to this. So, okay. So, code I need to now type in is MN Bean. Oh, MN Beam. Yeah, that's correct. And now we... Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on, that's not the one. Yep, well, I unlocked one of them, but that wasn't the one I wanted to unlock. Well, at least it saves me having to unlock one of them at the very least. Hold on. Oh. Wait, hold on. Yeah. I knew I was missing something. Okay, there we go. So, our third track is going to be Scorpio 7. Which I think is just here. Yep, there it is. Scorpio 7, and the car I'm going to use, obviously the Nino, because I'm pretty much using that for all of these fucking tracks. And so, it is now time for Scorpio 7, and maybe I can actually pull off a lap in this thing. At this track.
3,
I might even do a 2-lap run.
1, go!
But yeah, the El Nino is basically the bonus car. Is basically the bonus car which you win from the Expert Knockout. And also... I'm pretty sure this is more or less a track underwater. It looks most likely to be a track underwater, I think. And you know, I might actually consider getting a thumbnail for this if I don't keep hitting the pillars, which are very much in the middle of the track. But yeah, I can definitely tell when this circuit is more or less a fish tank. At least that's what I think it looks like. It's certainly an underwater paradise at the very least. And I set 1 minute and 5 seconds around this circuit. And I think I've pretty much decided which circuit is going to be the one for my clickbait. Because this one is the shortest, I am ultimately going to make this one my thumbnail. And, yep, that's a pillar. Don't want to be hitting those things too many times if I'm just wanting to go out for a hop lap. Yeah, okay. Wow, I did not think it was going to reset me back up to speed that quickly. Really didn't think it was going to do that. And yep, okay. I can definitely tell this lap is worse, but again, it doesn't matter because I'm only really recording a single lap of this circuit anyway. Well, I set 2 laps around this circuit, so I think that's pretty much all the evidence I need, but my god, this thing really does look futuristic. And yes, I am of course going to tape the replay, because oddly enough that's one thing I need to do. And then once I've done this, I'll be able to show off the 2 other bonus tracks in this game, which are Space Race and also The Room.
3, 2, 1.
And unfortunately we don't get any guidance about these. Probably because, well, these are the hidden tracks for a reason. Well, only really need a single lap in this thing to more or less prove the showcasing. Since oddly enough my outlap clearly proved to be better than my hot lap, shall we say. Anyways. Have I managed to complete a lap yet? I don't think I can tell if I have or haven't. Still, wouldn't necessarily say this thing looks amazing, but at the same time I wouldn't say it's repulsive. It's basically just their prediction in the late 90s of what they thought the future of supercars were going to look like. But overall, I think this car looks okay. I mean, it's not the best looking car I've ever seen, but at the same time it's certainly not one of the worst. In terms of its overall looks. Right. And well, since I already typed in the code for this one, it's now time for us to do Space Race. So, I already have a replay recorded. I know exactly what it is I'm going to use for my thumbnail. And ultimately, once I've done a lap around this place, we should have just one circuit left, and then it's time for the conclusion. Since that is more or less what I tend to do.
3, 2, 1, go!
And yes, you truly can see how quick this thing really is now. And well, I think we're meant to be on a satellite here or something. Oh, okay. Apparently that is a dome, which I see before me. I do not know this map. So, I think what this is meant to be is basically a satellite. And holy shit, these jumps. Wow, 0.62 being the best lap time. Well, I beg to differ on that, because I would imagine there are probably lots of people. Because I think there are probably lots of people who have more or less driven this track to discover how difficult it really is to drive. But yeah, this is clearly a space station. And oh my god, we're on the banks. And yep, I just hit this thing's top speed, 222 miles an hour. Anyways, that'll do it for the lap. And it took me 1 minute and 34 seconds to set one lap. Before I hit something, right before the start of lap 2. Anyways, we have just one track left, and apparently this track is called The Room. So our final bonus track is apparently called The Room. So just need to let's see. I think I need to type in play TM. Okay, and that is our final bonus track, The Room. And there it is. So, it is now time for me to set a lap around our final bonus track in this game, and also pretty much the final lap I will pretty much make for this entire game. And well, this is actually interesting because it kind of looks like a sort of, you know, Scalextric trick. Because it sort of looks like a Scalextric trick sort of sketch. And it pretty much looks like a kid's room, more or less. That's more or less what I think this is. So apparently, I think this is just meant to be a child's bedroom, more or less. Because obviously, you know, this is a Cars game, and it's more or less the sort of sketch I would probably expect from, you know, from electricity-powered cars, and I think if there's really anything that would probably come even remotely close to this sort of sketch, it would probably have to be Scalex Trick. And I will of course leave a link down in the description below about what exactly a Scalex Trick is, because I honestly don't think I can provide enough of a description. And furthermore, no, I will not use Wikipedia to obtain that sort of information. There are other links to use out there besides Wikipedia. Well, you know what? I think I am going to set a 2-lap run around here, just to close this game off. Just to, you know, close this game off with dignity. Also, I think those are comic books. Even though I'm still hitting the walls a lot, but whatever. I have managed to discover this car's top speed, 222 miles an hour. Yes, it is a 6-speed, as I would have predicted it to be, and we do not have too much longer to go around this lap, and there we go. That shall conclude NFS 3. But yeah, the closest I can probably come to this would have to be Scalex Trick. And I will of course leave a link down in the description below, like I said, about what a Scalex Trick is. Alright, and so, there we go. And that, and ultimately, there we go. Now I'm just gonna change my name back over to Jordan, and ultimately that should of course conclude it for this game. Let's see. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. It's fine. I've pretty much done everything else I need to do anyway, so I'm just gonna head over to the memory card section and just save the settings. And I'm also going to save the records as well whilst I'm here, just so I don't lose them. And so, there we go. So, that was NFS 3, and overall, in my overall opinion about this game, I have to admit, this game is a major improvement over the predecessor NFS 2, under many different circumstances. And even though the Expert Knockout, which I personally think is one of the most dreadful things I've pretty much had to do in any video game, because that's literally how excruciatingly tricky it was to win, ultimately, this game overall did of course put the NFS series on the map, and ultimately overall there are many people who do say third time's the charm. And of course, to follow this game in the near future, there would of course be the release of a couple of sequels. Those sequels in particular notably being Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, and also Hot Pursuit 2010, both games of course which would follow up from this one. And also furthermore, many of the features in the Need for Speed games are more or less certain features which would more or less become a part of future installments into the series. And also furthermore, most recently in 2020 they did also have a remastered version of the Hot Pursuit 2010. Don't really think it's that much different, to be completely honest, from the original 2010 version of Hot Pursuit, which is also the PS3 version, FYI. But yeah, that's this game done, and officially I shall see you guys next time for the start of game number 9. So overall, yes, I would recommend playing this game if you're just wanting to have fun with some retro video games. And overall, this game does have some problems, I will admit that. But overall, this game itself, essentially being a success by EA standards, overall, I will definitely say this is one of the better games in the Need for Speed series. And this more or less created an era of when the Need for Speed series would more or less start crafting some of the best games in the series. So yeah, it's a fun and enjoyable game to play if you don't do the expert knockout, which personally I think is dreadful, but that's probably just me. But overall, I would definitely recommend this game to be playable if you have it on your shelf. And so, as for game number 9, well, I can officially announce for the first time ever it is going to be a PlayStation 3 game, and of course, it is going to be another racing game. But as to which one, I will not mention until I've uploaded the intro. And so, I shall see you guys then. So, thanks of course as ever to everyone for watching. It's deep appreciation as always to everyone who does tend to view my channel content 24/7. Also to those of you who tend to view my content pretty much day in, day out. And I shall see you guys for the start of game number 9. So until then, I'm Jordan Mustang 87. Peace out, dudes and gals.